The war to end all wars is over. After 4 years of hideous slaughter, Germany and her satellites have collapsed. This is Percy McCallum for the British Radio Corporation, broadcasting live from the Great Palace of Versailles. There is jubilation across Europe as the deadly guns of battle fall silent. Defeated German troops struggle home across the shattered countryside to find their once all-powerful Kaiser has abdicated and fled his homeland. Every one of the enemy monarchs has fallen before the power of the great democracies, and a new day of liberty dawns. Now here, in Paris, the victorious Allies gather to make peace. The fearful rites of war must give way to the gentle arts of diplomacy. Great men of integrity and honor are here. Their task, to make a future war impossible. Their challenge, to forge a world where charity and compassion rule the day. Georges Clemenceau, the Tiger, Premier of France. The Prime Minister of Great Britain, David Lloyd George. And Woodrow Wilson, President of the United States, greeted here as a savior with his vision of lasting world peace. And so, in conference halls all over the city, the great work begins to create a new world order.
France will have territory, she will have treasure. I speak for the nation which, more than any other, has fought and bled. I speak for the nation which, more than any other, has brought victory over our barbarous foe. I speak for France. France declares that never again will she suffer invasion of her borders. Never again will she submit to the destruction of her countryside and the slaughter of her citizens. To this end, she will have justice and security on her own terms. Then, and only then, will France grant peace. France is great, her voice is loud, and her glorious people will accept nothing less. No one has anything more to say. La séance est levée.
Mr. Jones? Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Those speeches from yesterday's conference, how soon can I have the translations?
It'll be on your desk by 4:30, sir.
Fine.
Ned?
Henry. By all that's wonderful. How long has it been, a year?
Nearly 2. I just got a job with the American delegation as a translator. Pays not much, but it's interesting work.
So here I am helping Arabia and Prince Faisal become a free nation.
Well, that's great, Ned. I tell you, colonialism is dead. There must be dozens of countries competing to become free nations.
I hope so, for Arabia's sake.
Oh, Mr. Lawrence, may we be so presumptuous as to ask for your autograph?
Why, yes, you may.
I didn't realize you'd become such a celebrity.
Well, power of the press has nothing to do with me. Look, I'm dining with Gertrude Bell at the Majestic tonight.
Thank you.
Gertrude Bell?
She's written more about the situation in Arabia than anyone. Will you join us?
I'd love to.
Excellent. At 7:30 then.
Great.
Henry, this is so good.
So I took my discharge from the Belgian army. I just decided it was time I quit being a spy.
Well, in your last letter, you talked of going to college.
Well, my boss says there's a chance of a job in the State Department, so...
You're going to be a diplomat.
maybe.
Oh, Henry, beware. The snares and delusions of diplomacy are not to be embraced lightly. As Arnold will tell you. Everyone, please, do you know Arnold Toynbee? If I may say, our most distinguished historian. Arnold, this is Gertrude Bell.
A great pleasure.
Mr. Toynbee.
And my friend, Henry Jones.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
How do you do?
But Arnold, please. You see, Arnold's the man who really knows what's going on here.
I wouldn't say that.
He's part of the official British delegation, unlike people like me.
I've been out trying to catch sight of the German delegation.
Oh, really?
They're due in tonight. Nobody's seen them.
Don't be trying to sneak in the back way.
It's true. The feeling against them is frightening.
I read the newspapers. I've seen the demonstrations as well, and my fear is that we do not have statesmen with enough courage to resist the public demands for revenge.
I don't know. I've been watching our president. No, really, he's a fine man.
He's a fine man obsessed with forming his absurd League of Nations. And meanwhile, he's giving way to every bloodthirsty demand. He's completely outwitted. Clemenceau, a dinosaur, baying for blood. Lloyd George, a politician with no vision or morality at all.
There's just been a war. The worst war in history. People have fought and died. You can't just expect that they'll turn around and forgive.
You can't just wipe your enemy out. Years ago, Rome could just wipe Carthage out, but now the world has changed. Everything's connected. What has happened will happen again, for better or worse. History now moves in a spiral. These men are trying to force Germany down, but it cannot be done without terrible tragedy. Push Germany down and you'll pay a price. And one day it will once more rise to the top. But this lot are behaving like men with no memories, and those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat it.
Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat it.
La séance est ouverte. His Excellency, the President of the United States.
Delegates, representatives, friends, for we are all friends here. We have now been engaged for 5 months on a course of framing a peace, a just peace, a lasting peace. Moreover, we have also been establishing for the first time in the history of mankind an international forum, a supreme body of world affairs. I refer to the League of Nations. That bright hope, I know we all share. The aim of the League is simple, yet awe-inspiring. It is nothing less than the brotherhood of man, and with goodwill and calm endeavor, we shall succeed in our noble purpose. We shall succeed where great religions, where even Christianity itself has failed. Why has Jesus Christ so far not succeeded in inducing the world to follow his teachings in these matters? Friends, I will tell you, it is because he has taught the ideal without devising a practical means of attaining it. That is why I propose a practical scheme to carry out his purposes. That is why I offer you the League of Nations.
No more warring or petty factions. No more being at the disposal of the colonial powers. But one Arabia, independent, united, under the rule of Prince Faisal. Now, how does that sound?
Sounds great.
It sounds very well. Unhappily, the French have other ideas. France was to have Syria, Britain, Iraq, and the oil fields. Well, the war is over, and now the French are insisting the agreement be honored.
Now, when did the French know anything about honor?
Ned, that's unworthy of you.
Yes, all right, I'm sorry, but it makes my blood boil. We promised independence to Faisal. I promised. And now they tell us...
Oh, come on, Ned. Don't play the innocent. You knew about it all along. So, that's the hitch, Mr. Jones. An equivocal promise to a desert chieftain versus a solemn agreement between two great imperial powers. You see, there's no such thing as the Arab nation. No Arab feels part of it. He doesn't even think of himself as an Arab.
What is he?
A man from Damascus, Mecca, or Baghdad. A member of a particular Bedouin tribe. A Kurd, a Sunni, a Shiite. He can be any of these things. But an Arab, never. At least, not yet, I'm afraid.
He will be one day. I'm determined to make it happen.
All by yourself, Ned?
Your view is too narrow, too personal.
Too personal? What other view is there?
The statesman's.
The statesman's? Oh, God.
This way. Now just keep quiet. The president says he needs a record. With these two, he likes everything to be written down.
Mr. President. Gentlemen. Gentlemen, I have to tell you, this is not the most important problem we face.
Oh, it's a waste of time discussing this. The future of Arabia is settled. France and Britain made an agreement.
Well, I wish it were as simple as that, you see. But Britain also made a promise to Prince Faisal.
I am sorry, that cannot be helped.
Well, it was a promise.
Which we knew nothing about. And let me remind you, Prime Minister, that you will get Iraq and the oil fields.
And let me remind you, sir, that France's contribution to the victory in Arabia was negligible.
Negligible?
Gentlemen, this is a pointless argument. I believe there's a matter of principle involved here. England and France have made a secret agreement. It is my passionate conviction that secret agreements belong to the past.
Mr. President.
You have both accepted my 14 points. We must have open agreements, openly arrived at. You've pledged yourself to these things. Very well. The answer to this problem, therefore, is simple. We go and consult the people themselves.
The people?
Exactly. The people of Arabia. We ask them what it is they want.
Ask them?
Yes.
Yes, I see. And what form would this exercise in democracy take?
I am proposing a commission. It will be their job to go and thoroughly investigate the wishes of the people of Arabia, and to come back and report.
I understand, yes. Well, it's a brilliant solution. Don't you agree?
Then what do we say to Faisal tomorrow?
Say? Well, we say nothing. We just listen. Or at least we listen for now.
He said that. Wilson said that.
I don't care about your secret agreements. That's what he said.
Wonderful.
Do you think he meant it?
Of course he meant it. I was there, as close to him as I am to you now. Thank you.
And the others? I mean, Lloyd George, Clemenceau?
They just took it. They had no choice.
But what will happen about Faisal?
They'll listen to